Good evening.
Yep, that's how we're starting this. It's because it's the only thing that Jess can ever say, because that's all she has left in her brain.
Correct.
We are two friends, I think, or whatever.
Potentially.
Are we friends?
I don't know anymore.
I don't know, but according to Jess, we are secretly in love with each other, so welcome to the podcast. I don't know. This is so... So this is the first episode. The official first episode. And I don't know if you listened to the trailer or anything. But we're just two friends who are in their last semester of college together.
Gross.
Isn't that crazy?
Disgusting.
Last semester. We have like just over 2 months, maybe 3
months.
2.5-ish months.
3 months. We graduate May 10th. It's February 7th.
So we have 3 months left until we're actual adults. Although I decided not to do that, but we'll get into that later. So
There's somebody walking.
Somebody walking?
They're holding a box.
Oh my god. No way. We're on a college campus. I don't know what you expect to see, but yeah.
That's why having this window is terrible, because I get so distracted.
Yeah. I thought I was a bad, squirrel moment. There was one the other day that people started laughing at me for, and I was like just ignoring them because I didn't care. I don't remember what it was. I saw somebody, I was like, oh, and then I walked away from them. It was great. I saw So anyways, but yeah. So tell us about yourself a little bit there, Jess.
No.
Okay, I'll go first. My name's I don't want to use my name. Is it weird? I don't know.
It's our podcast.
I mean, I'm drinking. We got Dunkin' because, we run on Dunkin'. This podcast runs on Dunkin'. They better sponsor us or I'll cry. Anyways, I'm in my last semester, like I said earlier. And
you gonna say your name?
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
This is not an AA meeting. But anyways, I decided that all of these years of school was not enough. So I'm going to be going to law school after this. So, because I can't face the fact that, I'd have to be an adult if I, graduate. So I'm going to do more school instead because I don't want to be an adult. That's scary. What about you?
I'm in my last semester of nursing school. I'm yet to decide what I want to specialize in. So far I've been telling people, great question. I'll let you know when I figure it out. I have been saying that since I started nursing school, so hopefully I'll get there soon, because I have to start applying for jobs any minute now. I am very indecisive, so I have not decided whether or not I want to go to nurse practitioner school yet. So that's to be determined one of these days, potentially.
We both go to grad school.
That would be a show and a half.
Can we find a grad school that like a law school and a NP school together at the same place?
Unlikely, but we can try.
Well, have you been looking a little bit at some of them or no?
Kinda.
Where?
Mostly in Massachusetts.
Mostly Mass?
Makes sense. Law schools.
I know they have law schools. I mean, I was obviously looking at Harvard, but I don't know. Weirdly enough, I'm I don't think I would like Harvard.
Fair enough.
I think because I am looking at some New England schools, just because I don't want to go too far away. But then I'm also looking at the Southeast a lot.
Nasty.
Which, with the track that I want to go to, I probably am better off going either to California or down south.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I was also told Louisiana apparently is a really big, if I wanted to do entertainment law, which is crazy. Louisiana? I know that some places do film there, but, that's such a weird one to hear. And then, I don't know. I was looking at some stuff. I got rid of Stanford, unfortunately, because I don't think that they have entertainment law. I think they maybe had I don't even think they had a class period.
Damn.
Because some of them might have like 1 or 2 classes. Like one of the classes is like an actual clinical or whatever. But
Did you say clinical?
not a clinical. They call them sometimes clinicals, but I think I mean like where you actually are like going to a law firm and getting experience. I forgot what it's called. Practical. I don't know. I don't care. I'm tired.
Mhm.
I've had a long day of almost nothing to do today, so
Love.
I'm just really tired.
I
But
did some grocery shopping today. I hate grocery shopping. I also haven't been able to find my French fried onions for the past 2 times we gone to Sam's Club.
well, you're
I'm
going to
upsetty spaghetti
Sam's
about
Club.
it. Hmm?
That's your problem. You went to Sam's Club.
But I used to find those ginormous bags of them, but the last 2 times we went, we needed them, and I couldn't find them. And I'm very upsetty spaghetti about it.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, what do we want to talk about? I know you're indecisive. Don't say I don't know. Don't say
You know
that.
me so well.
But like, what
what are your post-college plans?
I already told you I'm
no,
going
I know,
to
but like for your gap year.
Oh, my gap year. Well, yeah, I am taking a gap year. I'm gonna go move. I'm gonna move back home
Mm-hmm.
for a year and see if I can get an internship of some sort at a law firm or whatever while I'm home. And studying for the LSAT, obviously, and there's a hair on this microphone. Okay. And just studying for the LSAT and applying to law schools. And I don't know. We'll see.
When do you have to take your your LSAT and get a good score by to apply to law schools for next year?
Oh, I think like end of the year. So like probably by
December.
November-ish,
November.
December-ish is usually, because that's like kind of the same thing with how it was for undergrad for applying. So I think it's the same thing. Yeah. I think
You think?
if you are gonna go to NP, do you have to do it right away? Like what?
No.
Like,
I actually recommend you do regular nursing for a little bit first.
just to understand it a little
Yeah.
bit better. That makes sense. That's why they like recommend getting like a an internship under your belt for like pre-law or
Yeah.
paralegal or something. It just
That's
helps
always
you
nice.
understand better.
Yeah. Which is why it's nice that I'm a medical assistant now, because I already know how to do a good chunk of things
Yeah.
from just that.
You know how to stab people
Exactly.
medically and legally.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Give them some drugs,
And-
also legally.
We're off to a great start.
We're doing great. This is
We're
great.
doing amazing.
But-
Not as chaotic as
Mm-hmm.
the other one we were recording.
You'll see that in another episode. We pre-recorded that.
But yeah, so what else do we want to talk about? Hobbies?
You think I have hobbies?
You
Girl,
don't
I'm
have
a nursing
hobbies.
student.
I'm trying to think. I mean this. Like, why did we start a podcast?
Because we're always going batshit crazy, and we were like, hear me out. If this is captured and then released,
There have been times, multiple times, that we've been hanging out throughout like the 3-4 years that we've known each other, that we're like driving in the car or something and we're just talking, and I'm pretty sure you might have too a couple
probably have.
times, but basically been like, dude, imagine if this was a podcast. Like, imagine if we just talked about whatever we were going to talk about and just post it and just see, which is kind of what led me to this, is because I part of my job on campus is handing out like film equipment, because I'm a film major. Great. You know. So I wasn't even working. I was helping, or I was just sitting there with a friend of mine, and our boss comes in and he goes, "Oh, these a couple of the XLR cords aren't working." And I was like, that's weird. So I grabbed a Zoom, and I grabbed them, and I grabbed microphones, quite literally exactly how this setup is now that we have right now. And I was testing them, and they worked perfectly fine. But then I was literally walking around the building after as a joke, just kind of being like, I'm a game show host and I think I'm funny. And then I texted Jess and was like, we actually should try to do the podcast, because I think it'd be really cool. It'd be really funny. And it doesn't hurt, because I have the film equipment that I can rent out for free. Even after I graduate, I'm not driving back up here though to do that. Like I will buy myself this equipment if I really need to. If we ever see each other again. We probably won't though.
Girl, be so for real.
No, we're not going to. Why?
You say that?
Because I don't like
but
you.
You're in love with me, so.
You're in love with me. Who's the one that thought of the idea for this?
It was based off something you said about being in love.
Okay. That was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I have since had other people that I have dated, and I have gone over you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like you. I actually, in fact, hate you. I don't even know why I asked you to do this with me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, an enemies podcast would be crazy. Anyone who ever does that, where they just like find people that they hate and they just like get them to go on the pod, that would be crazy. I would pay for that.
I would pay for that too.
Are you kidding
The
me? That'd be
drama.
so funny. It's like going on like the Maury show or whatever, or like Jerry Springer, and just like that same thing, and just going on one of those shows and just doing it. Like that'd be crazy.
I'd be so down.
So hear me out. We're about to duke it out. Kidding. But yeah. So I have the equipment, and I was like, well, we have the equipment, and like I know this is obviously like the least of our problems right now. We both have our capstones happening this semester and everything. But we were like, let's just try it, and if we like it, we can post it if we want, and if we don't like it, no one's gonna see the light. It's not gonna see the light of day, exactly. And that's okay. It's just something that we're trying out, and it doesn't hurt since we have the equipment to do so. And since I guess we like each other or something.
Nasty.
Anyways, I guess we should talk about how we met or something too.
Before we do that, can you go back to how you're a film major but you're going to law school?
Why? Why do you want me to? Oh, fine. Yes, so I'm a film major, or video film production is technically the program name. Because in high school I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and freshman year of high school I had tried to write books and stuff before. I didn't like it, but I liked writing, not essays, screw that, but like creative writing. And so I was like, okay, whatever. And for fun, I was like, let me just try to write a script, like a little film script or something. They weren't great. Or I have them. I still have those, some of those scripts. They're never seen the light of day. Mm-hmm. But in case if I ever wanted to like actually do something with them and totally change them and fix them, because good God, they're terrible. But anyways, so I started writing those, and I was like, oh, I like this. Yeah, let me go to school for video, like for film and for script writing specifically. And so I chose a place in Maine. Don't get me wrong, it's a great program, but there's one script writing class. Now, I probably should have put my eggs in a basket that had more script writing stuff, that had a more focus, which my second school did. My second school actually did have a master's.
What was your second school again?
Emerson. Which I did get into. I got into Emerson. I just didn't get any
money,
scholarships, or FAFSA from them, which sucked. And we like waited to make sure, but you never know. I guess it was meant to be, because we met. But it's really funny because actually somebody who's in the program with me, that's graduating with me, also got into Emerson and almost went to Emerson.
Who's that?
So that'd have been crazy if that was the case, but yeah. So I didn't go, but obviously because I got immediately like a yes from the college that we're at now, and yeah. But I almost went to Emerson, which is crazy because when my sister applied, granted she applied for theater at a very liberal theater film artsy school, she didn't get in. She got into Emerson. She didn't get into the theater program. But I got in, and it was a great feeling because I was like, that was probably like, I don't know, in my opinion, one of the best places to be, because I love Boston. If I had the money to live there, I would. I know you're like from right outside Boston, but
yeah. Fun fact: I do live less than half an hour away from Boston, and have pretty much up until I came to college. and I avoided Boston like the plague. It is atrocious over
I mean,
there.
don't get me wrong, the traffic's terrible, but I don't know.
Sometimes my parents would be like, we should go to Boston for such and such. I'm like, literally, for what reason? Why would you willingly go into Boston for nothing?
It's not as bad as going to, like, New York, though.
No, I hate New York even more.
Anyways, so yeah, I was talking about how I was in film, but I had also taken a class in high school where I think it was literally called law or something, and it was just talking about, like, my state law and stuff like that, and the basic stuff. And around this time is when I started getting into, like, Legally Blonde, especially the musical, because I was just in it, like, previously, like, just before I was in the musical. And so I started, like, liking it and stuff. So I was joking that I was going to be Elle Woods and whatever.
She says with rainbow hair.
Okay. Well, it's very faded out now.
Still
And it's
rainbow.
also not fully rainbow. Most of it's black. It's just, you know. But yeah, so I so I took the class in high school. And I also took, like, a film class in high school as well. Decided to go into film. And then when I was in college, about late sophomore, but early junior year, I was kind of like, oh, I want to...
if you hear anything in the background, people are playing
pool right outside of our thing. But that's fine. We're in an office right now. It's a great location for us.
With no ceiling.
With no ceiling. So,
We're doing great.
oops,
Everything's
sorry. But yeah, so I, like, I
Ooh,
think it was...
peach. Sorry, we also have random supplies for random events.
What do we have? Peach flavored? Oh, peach syrup. Well, it might be for tonight. I probably wouldn't use any of that.
No, I'm not going to. I just
But-
realized we had peach.
Anyways, so yeah, so I, junior year was like, hey, like, I want to get a certificate. Initially, I wanted to get my own film company, so I was going to do an entrepreneurship one. I took one class, I think. And then when I was about to start another class, I was like, I don't want to own my own company because I don't really want to do film anymore, or as much I don't want to do film. So I was like, what else? And I was like, well, I did like that law class that I took in high school. And I did. I really did. And I still like that teacher. And I hope one day I could tell her that she convinced me to go to law school, essentially. But, yeah, so then I decided to start taking the pre-law certificate instead. Took one of the classes. Loved it. So now I'm taking the rest of the classes. I'm in my last class this semester for it. And it's really interesting. So, yeah. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to fully... switch over, I guess, although I don't know, it never hurts to have, like, film knowledge anyways. And don't get me wrong, I still love film, and the amount of times where I'm like, ooh, that was done with the rack focus, or that was probably a jib move or whatever.
Paul O'Reilly.
Yeah,
Nasty.
her boyfriend, who also was in my major, a year older than me though.
Yeah, we're like watching random TV shows. He's like, "Oh, that could have been better. Oh, I can."
Funnily
see this.
enough,
Oh, and I'm like, "Please stop."
I think, did I go see the Barbie movie with you? I think so. Funnily enough, when it was that scene where it was just her standing there in the middle with the white during that whole, like, depressing part, I think I whispered it to myself, but I might have whispered it to
I
you.
think you might have whispered to me.
I went, that cinematography looks great.
Yeah, I remember
Like,
that.
it was a nice shot. And I'm going to do that for the end of time. And especially if I'm going into entertainment law, where I'm probably going to be in the film industry and, you know, doing all that stuff. It's good to have that knowledge as a lawyer and everything. Plus, like I said, I really love being a scriptwriter. I do. I'm taking a study right now, and I'm excited. And hopefully, like, this script that I'm doing and future ones too, I can publish them and maybe actually stay in the film industry as well, just more than being a lawyer.
Yeah.
Because honestly, they're probably two of my passions right now, and it's just, you know, it doesn't hurt. And I it's like choosing your favorite child. It's like a Sophie's Choice moment where you're like, I don't want to, but I guess I have to. And also, as of right now, I think that, you know, being a lawyer, it's going to be expensive to do, but you'll get paid better,
Yeah.
easier, faster.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of law, in middle school, I had an elective that I took called the judicial system, which we learned about the judicial system along with the other ones. And then after you took that elective, you had the opportunity to go into Boston to a courtroom where lawyer students were doing some lawyer
mock
exam
trial.
thing, something like that. And we could go and be fake jurors.
Yeah,
So
mock trial.
obviously after I took that class, I was like, sign me up. That sounds like fun. So we went in, and there were 7 of us total, and there were 2 groups of lawyers. So my twin brother went with one group, and then me and my best friend at the time went with another group. And one of the lawyers from the defense side was like a carbon copy of my brother. He was arguing with the judge and everything, so much so that the judge called him over basically to like tell him to stop doing that because he's not supposed to be doing
you
that.
can't do that in the
And
court.
my best friend and I looked at each other, and we were trying so hard not to start cackling. It was so rough. I also remember when we took a recess one time, we went to the bathroom, and then we came back in. One of the friends of one of said lawyer students opened the door for us, and I remember, the only thing I remember about it was that he was like 10 feet tall, and I had to look all the way up to see his face to thank him. That's it. That's the story. But it was a fun day in Boston. I'm pretty sure it was a little cold because it was Boston in like January or something, but
You can't really say that someone's 10 feet tall, though.
he was basically 10 feet tall.
Okay, to you.
I was also a little shorter than I am now. Not by much, but by a little bit.
Okay, but like I said, you can't just call somebody 10 feet tall just because you're 4'9" or 4 whatever.
4'9.5".
You do that damn half, I swear.
The half
one
is
more
the most
time.
important part.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I'm 5'5.5", but I always just say I'm 5'5".
The half lets me round up to 4'10"
Well,
on my license.
I'm not gonna lie and just be like, oh, I'm actually 5'6".
You good?
Actually, I might be at 5'6" now, actually. I'm not sure. I haven't. Remember that one time? What was it? I went home for some reason. It was like sophomore year or junior year, maybe. And I went home.
I think it was sophomore year. I think we lived together at this time.
I don't
In fact, we
remember
lived
what it
together
was,
sophomore
but
year.
I like texted you when I was home because I was in my bathroom and I looked at the bathroom mirror and I was like, I think I shrank. So I texted Justin saying, like literally telling her like, I'm pretty sure I shrank a bit, and she said good. And then I went upstairs and measured myself, and I actually grew an inch. It was a little funny.
No, I do remember this because also went to the doctor, and she also grew.
Yes, that's right. So like instead of, you know,
And I was pissed.
everyone getting shorter like you are,
Mhm.
we all are getting taller, and we're
And
becoming
that was the other
10
funny
feet
part because
tall.
I went to my doctor I'm pretty sure that same year, and they had told me that I shrank
And you shrank
like a quarter
yeah.
of an inch. And I was like, are you actually kidding me right now?
That's
Everyone else
crazy.
is growing, and I'm shrinking over here.
Yeah. But hey, whatever. Your
It's fine.
uppance will
Everything's
come
fine.
eventually. I'm
My
going
what
to.
is gonna come eventually?
Your uppance will come.
Okay.
For me, I'm saying, because like jokes on you now. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm gonna be about 5 inches in like 2 years probably.
I sure hope so.
Imagine if someone was 5 inches tall.
That'd be
They wouldn't even be able to
crazy.
have their organs in their body.
Yeah, I don't know how they'd survive. Because even like preemies, most preemies are more than that.
Cause
If
like
they are viable.
yeah, cause like aren't they? How? I mean, obviously you would know medical stuff better, but like even like someone who's like 2 feet wouldn't have,
I mean, I'm sure their quality of life is not.
because
The
their organs
same.
would have to be like literally like minuscule.
Yeah. Like that lady that's the shortest lady on the planet, she's like less than 2 feet tall. I don't remember how tall she actually is, but
Is it who I think it is?
I have no idea what you're thinking.
Well, I'm pretty sure if I'm thinking of the right girl, she was in actually a season of American Horror Story.
Oh, really?
Because they did a season of American Horror Story, the 4th season I think it was, where it was Freak Show. So they did one that was a circus, like I don't know if it was a traveling circus, but it was a circus of like a guy with lobster claws, and it was, they called her Ma Petite in it. I don't know what her actual name is, but she was like literally like
Hold on,
this
let me
tall.
search it up.
But then they had like a bearded lady and like, you know, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I think I only watched that season like once, maybe twice. Yeah, that is her.
Yeah, we are thinking the same person. She's only 31.
She's 31.
Why did I think she was older?
I don't know. There's definitely
She's
like
2'1". Sorry.
she's 2'1". That's
She is Indian. I was like, I think she's Indian, but I didn't want to say if I was wrong.
she's India. She is the country of India.
She's Indian.
Oh, I heard you say
Or-
India.
I'm not that uncultured.
Yeah, you are. A little bit. Yeah, no, so like I was like, cuz I thought that was her, but I was like, I don't know, maybe there is somebody else or I'm thinking of something different, but yeah. That is the one that she was in American Horror Story for a whole season. And it was, I don't know, it was interesting. Definitely. That season was weird. Not my favorite. But I don't know. It's a good show up until they got really bad in like season 8. Season 9 was I'd have to rewatch it again, but I stopped watching it after season 10 because Double Feature was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. How's your Dunkin'?
That's delicious.
What did you get?
I got a medium strawberry dragon fruit refresher. I was thinking of getting food, but I didn't eat that long ago, so I just got chips from our marketplace on campus that I'll snack on later on. What'd you get?
I got a an iced mocha latte. It's my go-to.
I'm surprised you didn't get almond milk.
I haven't
the
gotten
last time I got
almond milk
almond
with those in like months.
Really?
Yeah, I stopped
Mm.
caring about almond milk because like, yeah, it could be better for my digestive issues.
Eh.
But I also don't care because it makes it taste weirder because it's almond milk.
And it's also more expensive.
It's also more it's only like 50 cents, but like it's still expensive.
Yeah.
That adds up so fast. And I'd rather, you know, enjoy my coffee and deal with the consequences later than have like a mid-flavored coffee because of
Mhm.
almond milk or whatever.
Did you try it with oat milk ever?
No.
I feel like it wouldn't taste good with oat milk.
I don't mind oat stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll eat oatmeal and stuff like that occasionally, but like oat milk? No. Not my thing.
I remember I was back home and my brother and I went into some coffee shop and we didn't realize that it was like a vegan coffee shop. So they didn't even offer regular cream. They only offered oat milk or something of the sort. So we're like, okay, we'll just get it. And not my fave to say the least. I have had oat milk and other stuff and it wasn't bad, but I was not a fan.
It's crazy because I'll even go into some places where I feel like there are some places up here too, even where they're so vegan-ish or like more like friendly towards that stuff,
Mhm.
where they won't even offer almond milk because almond milk is so bad for the environment to make. Granted, all of them are kind of bad for the environment to make,
Mhm.
but almond milk is the worst one. And also I think it was for like allergies' sake, but
Mhm.
I mean, I've heard of people being allergic to oats and stuff too,
Yeah.
and coconut milk and stuff like that, but
I feel like regardless of what you try, somebody's always going to be allergic to something.
yeah, everyone's allergic to something.
Yeah.
I just need to figure that out because I still don't know my allergies, but that
Eh.
sounds like a problem when I
haven't died
go
yet.
home for the summer.
Can I be the one to stab you?
No, because I will not be in the same state as you.
And
No.
I can get privileges.
Ew, no, absolutely not. I don't trust you.
Whore. Can I come with you at least?
No.
Why not?
You're going to seriously drive down?
Yes. I went with Riley to his appointment to get his blood drawn.
Yeah,
he
because
won't
you're
let me
attached
drive
at the
his
hip
blood.
to him.
No. It was at 8 in the morning. You think I wanted to get up at 8 in the morning? No. But he was getting his blood drawn. He won't let me draw his blood.
Yeah, because the last time you pricked someone's finger, they almost passed out. That's a story for another time.
That was also not the last time. I did stab at someone's
No, but
finger
the one
other
time
day.
you did do it. We all
That I
witnessed
might
you
do it,
almost
yes.
kill somebody.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, I don't know. So what are your plans for, I don't know, the rest of the summer? Well, okay, no, actually, I totally forgot. You've definitely told me before, but your capstone is that overnight,
Yep.
right?
Yep. My partnership, we have to do a total of 220 hours. We get assigned a floor, a specific nurse that's our preceptor that we work one-on-one with, and days or nights depending on what availability they have. I requested the same floor that I was on last semester because I loved it there. They were so nice, and that was like the floor that I literally did so much stuff on. Literally in the first shift or two, we had done more than I had done at that point in nursing school, period. So I was like, please, pretty please, put me on that floor. So I wrote my request thingy, and then we had to write a cover letter for why we want to go to that floor specifically if we had any specific requests. And I was like, please put me on that floor. Pretty please. So thankfully, they agreed. And they put me on nights, which I'm very much a night person over a day person. So that was great. I've had 2 shifts so far. My preceptor is great. He and I have like the same sarcasm. So when I'm sarcastic to him, he laughs instead of being like, that's weird. He is also like very go with the flow. So he's like, I'll give you my schedule at the beginning of the week and you can tell me whatever days you want to come in and whatever works. So yeah. He is actually kind of interesting because he is not a night person. He just didn't love, like, all the people there during the days.
Plus, he'd get paid
like,
more for overnights.
Plus, you do get paid more for overnights. So they recommended he go to nights, which has been working out pretty well for him for the last couple of years. He also doesn't drink caffeine. And I'm like, how are you alive? But, you know, to each their own. But, yeah. So we've been having a grand old time. Sometimes we were running around, and I'm like, sir, we need to sit down. We've been running around for the last 3 hours, please.
Dude,
Granted,
you watch
nursing,
Grey's
but-
Anatomy. You understand that they
Yeah.
have to be up and moving all the time.
But on nights, girl, half our patients are asleep. Sit for a little bit.
You know what you should do?
Hmm.
When you're like, oh, it's you know, like they're all sleeping or whatever, you should say the Q word.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
All the healthcare workers know the Q word. You never say the Q word.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I was working like 2 months or so ago, I think, and one of my coworkers said the Q word first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning. We were literally about to open. He said it first thing in the morning. I was like, you're actually kidding me right now. And it was definitely a somebody said the Q word type of day. We had at least a couple ambulance calls because we are in urgent care, so there's only so much we can do. We had at least a few ambulance calls. We had several emergent patients. I think we had somebody pass out.
Dude, I feel like with, you know, being in the medical industry or whatever, where you obviously like have HIPAA laws, so you can't say anything that's like super revealing.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect for like being, you know, anonymous-ish on like a podcast like this. Like you
I feel like
can't.
it's not that difficult to determine who we are, to be fair.
No, but like if you like were saying something, obviously you can't even tell me, so you can't even tell them. So like,
I mean, here's the thing. At least for my understanding of HIPAA, I can't tell you anything that would identify who the patient is. So I can be like, oh, Mr. Smith from this floor.
well, why the hell would anyone want to just be like dox them where their hospital room is?
No, look at me. But people have done it before.
I
You know what's really crazy? HIPAA wasn't a thing until April of 2003.
really?
Right.
I'm older than
Yes,
HIPAA.
you're older than HIPAA. I just barely am younger than HIPAA. I've always found that so...
I'm older than
insane.
HIPAA.
You're older than HIPAA.
Oh my god, I'm ancient.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is gonna put me into a spiral again. We're not
Yeah.
gonna do this right now.
So
That's crazy that
Mhm.
HIPAA is only like.
so people have done it before, and it was completely legal back
Well,
then.
yeah, it's medical malpractice.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be like, hey, Joe Roberts has a broken hip and needs to get surgery, and then people are like, I know a Joe Roberts. Oh God, you know, or whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know how it works. I don't. Whatever.
If I were to like go to Riley and I'm like, hey, let me tell you about Joe Smith from my floor tonight, and he's like, oh, okay, because he could tell anybody he's not bound to HIPAA.
Yeah.
So I can't say anything to
No,
anyone.
yeah. I mean, I've learned that from watching Grey's Anatomy, whatever they do, don't do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like when I was watching Suits, there are so many unethical and
Correct.
so wrong and illegal things that they're doing
Mm-hmm.
that, like, I know it's for the drama, obviously, and it's for, like, you know, the views and whatever, but what the hell? The whole bomb episode?
Yep.
The whole show
The whole show.
is just unethical.
Yep.
Even if they're doing something right, it's unethical. The whole what was it? Callie's malpractice suit.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Everything was wrong. Everything in that show is just wrong.
Yep.
And yeah.
You know what else I think is crazy about HIPAA?
Hmm.
So when I think I was 4 years old, somewhere around there. My
4?
Mom, yeah. My mom is an LPN, and she worked at like a nursing home or something of the sort, not far from where we lived. And one day I don't know if it was just me or if there were other kids too, but they had a bring your kid to work day or something like that. At least that's the impression that I was under. I don't know what was actually going on, but I do remember going with my mom to work. Mind you, again, I'm younger than HIPAA, so HIPAA was a thing. And again, I was like 3-4 years old. So I could go yapping my tail off to literally anybody on the street. And
Yeah,
they
that's-
let me like go with my mom to some patients. I was,
Yeah,
now
that's the
looking
thing.
back, I'm like, I don't understand how they were able to pull that off.
Especially since when, like, kids, like, and just in general, kids, just whatever they hear, they say.
That's what I'm saying. I
Which
could
is
yap
why
my tail
they're
off
always
anyone.
like, don't swear in front of a kid, because then they'll just start saying it.
Mhm.
Or don't, you know, tell them that, you know, whatever it is, anything that you don't want people to know about, don't tell in front of a child.
Yep.
Because they're like a parrot and they'll just repeat it.
Correct. That's one of my experiences I always thought was interesting, because I don't know how they were able to pull that off.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Your mom's a different story.
Yeah, she's a whole episode on her own.
Literally. We should bring her in.
No,
Imagine.
absolutely not.
Why not?
No, thank you.
You don't want to do that like as like a graduation thing where we
Absolutely
get our
not.
parents in and do a whole...
Your parents,
Podcast.
sure, by all means. Mine, no, thank you.
I don't know how my parents would deal with the podcast. Because, like, my mom listens to podcasts.
Mhm.
She does.
Mhm.
She'll listen to, like, the Dateline ones and stuff like that. Or, like, whatever. She'll listen to some other ones, too. But I'm, like, I'm trying to imagine her, like, doing, like, in the setting we're in. Or, like, anywhere. And just, like, having a microphone in her
Mhm.
hand. And just talking about whatever. I feel like it's crazy.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know how she would do it.
Mhm.
Hmm.
My mom calls people on the phone and talks for her drives. And
For her drives.
Yeah, and then either watches movies or listens to music otherwise. In our language, obviously. Not in English.
Not her watching movies while she's driving.
Not while she's driving. I mean,
Oh,
for that, it's like when she's at home. While she's driving,
Okay.
she's usually on the phone.
I was gonna say
And I'm like,
her
that's
driving,
nasty.
but like even like listening to music or being on the phone with someone is distracted driving,
Yeah.
which is not wrong. But I mean, not wrong, not legal, and
Mhm.
is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But
was
imagine if she
running.
was just watching
I was
TV,
fully expecting them to bust
like
their ass.
watching TV.
Mhm.
Just, you know, I've seen people like on road trips or whatever where they're watching something and they're driving and they have their AirPods in there. I'm like,
I cannot imagine. Dude, let me tell you, when I was in the car and I went to visit that one time when we went to some park, I don't remember which one, and I didn't have Bluetooth at the time, and the radio was not up to par with her standards, so she gave me an earbud, and then she had an earbud, and I was like, I can't drive like that.
I think
could
I've
not.
done it one time, but my car connects to it because I like it was like me just like quickly like moving my car around in my driveway or something, and I just had my AirPods in. Like my parents told me to like, hey, can you just move your car so I can back out?
Yeah. That's a different story.
And I had
Like,
my
you're not, like, on
AirPods
the
or
open
whatever.
road.
But then like my phone's also connected to the Bluetooth in my car, so like once it just transferred over, it just stopped playing. And I was like, driving with AirPods is kind of weird. But like also, like what if there's like an emergency vehicle behind
Right.
you or something, or somebody honking their horn at you because you're being a dummy on the
Mhm.
road? How do you like? I don't understand.
I don't either.
There was one time I had an Uber and they were playing music on the radio, but they had their own music playing in their AirPods. And I was like,
I hate that.
why is the radio on then? For us? Girl, just put your own music on the radio. Why are you... Because they were on the phone talking to somebody.
Perfect.
With their AirPods in. And I was like, I don't understand.
I
Technology has become so far advanced that it's honestly ruining people's lives.
Mm-hmm. Valid.
AI, for one, because not only as a film major, but also as a future lawyer, is going to have to do deal a lot
Mm-hmm.
with AI. Because I was literally walking into one of the classes yesterday, and they were talking about AI in film.
Perfect.
And like how like screwed up it is because it's taking people's jobs and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
the fact that the writer's strike and the actor's strike and everything happened is because of AI.
Mm-hmm.
So they were, talking about how like AI is like ruining stuff, especially for like industries like the film industry,
Banging on the floor.
especially, the film industry. And so they were like, oh, well, obviously like blah, 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 it's not good. And in my head, I'm just like, believe me, that's going to be like a lot of what I'm dealing with probably is AI stuff. If I do end up becoming like a film lawyer, like an entertainment lawyer, is going to be AI and copyright and like stuff like that. I'm just going to be like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Like it's going to be so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the world we are in now. We're in 2025, and AI, don't get me wrong, AI for like generating like photos for like, if you're like, I wonder what this would look like, but like in this world or whatever, it looks cool. There are some really cool like TikToks or whatever that I see of AI.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the industries that I'm going into in my future, literally in my near future,
Mm-hmm.
it's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of technology is scary. It's
Mm-hmm.
scary.
That's why I'm grateful I went to healthcare because AI can never take over healthcare.
Well, did you see that? I don't know if you heard of it, but this just past Christmas, the Coca-Cola ads that were fully AI generated,
Love.
and you can kind of tell.
That's the other thing that I think about it. Like AI can only do so much. Like eventually it'll not look great. Like when they try to write stuff for scripts or whatever, they can do a half decent job, but it takes a lot of tweaking and editing to actually make it sound good.
But also even like there are some times where like it's becoming like 5-10 years ago, like, ooh, make this like, I don't know, like do an AI photo of this like celebrity or whatever, and it wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
Now
I know
there are
it's
some
crazy.
deep fakes and stuff like that that are so realistic that I can't tell if it's actually the person or not,
Mm-hmm.
which is scary. Like, what about that robot? What is it, Sophia or whatever? Hey, you don't know about that?
Mm-mm.
It's like Sophia the robot or whatever is like this robot where like literally like at her where her hair would start is like behind is like all like robotic, like the technology and everything, but her face and everything, her movements and everything in her face is so realistic, it's scary. Which like I was learning about that in high school because of whatever we were talking about in class at that time. But like even like just thinking about that for 2019 or whatever it was, I think it was like kind of terrifying because you're like, holy, like that's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And give it like 5-10 more years and it's going to be so realistic, it's going to look like a person.
And here we are.
Here we are, where there are literal robots and everything that just, are super fucking realistic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary. So that's my rant about AI as a film major and a lawyer who's going to have to deal with all that stuff in the future. Technology is scary.
Mm-hmm.
Technology is really coming to a place where it's kind of terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Your phones are listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so like phones and everything, which I obviously I'm guilty for this. It's so distracting. TikTok, Instagram,
I'm
Snapchat.
so bad with TikTok. It's bad.
So bad. There have been times where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like do this. I'm gonna go do my laundry, and then I'm like, I'll watch like a few TikToks though before I go do it. 3 hours
Right,
later,
literally.
and they're like telling you to stand up and take a breather, and you're like, no, and you just keep going.
Yep.
But it's become so disconnecting in a way, I guess. Because, like, yeah, you can, like, text and call your friends or whatever, and, you know, like, you post something and I'll like it and comment and be like, oh my god, okay, slay, or whatever. But, like, it's scary. Because, like, then you just don't want to hang out with people. I feel like, because you'd rather be on TikTok or you'd rather be on YouTube or whatever instead of, like, hanging out with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Why I never saw you last semester. I'm just kidding.
Last semester? Mm-hmm. Well, we know why last semester.
Yeah.
And the semester before that, too, even.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
But, you know, it was, I don't know, technologies. It's scary, which...
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Okay. Well, we just got striked because of that. Imagine.
I forgot that was a thing, I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, come on. How can you forget about copyright?
Because that's a you problem.
Copyright is quite literally the only thing in my brain at this point.
Exactly. So it's not in my brain.
It's scary. I'm going to end up doing
Fun
copyright
fact, we share
law.
2.5 brain cells. So whatever half she has that part.
It's funny, though, because what was it? When we were filming the other day, which we might reshoot.
We were in the classroom already.
We might reshoot it, but when we were filming it the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and she was saying something, and we both said, I don't want to do that at the same time.
Yeah. We had a couple
Horrible.
of those moments in a very short time frame.
We always have those moments,
Mhm.
though. It's scary.
Spooky.
It's, like, actually terrifying. Like, for two very different people.
We are very different, which is interesting because
But, like,
we're
opposites
besties.
attract.
Yeah.
It's why you're in love with me and I'm in love with
Okay.
you. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of it's weird that it is weird that people are like opposites attract and you're like, okay, yeah, whatever. But like you think that what you like is like the type of people you would also like to be around. No. No, I don't want people who are as sexy as I am.
Okay.
Be like, why do you think, you know, why do you think I hang out with you? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Whore.
I'm joking. I was gonna say at least you are dating somebody, but also he's
Yeah, fun fact. She doesn't
you're
like
out
my
of his
boyfriend, but
league.
she
Let's be
won't
honest.
tell me why.
You're out of his league.
Am I?
Yes, you are. You're hotter than he is, and that's not a bias because I'm gay.
I was gonna say you literally are gay. Or
It's-
so you claim.
I don't know.
You have your moments.
I'm somewhere in the middle
so you're
because
bi.
I've dated guys and I've dated girls, and
So you're bi.
maybe
She goes back and forth every
I think
5
it's
minutes.
pansexual. I'm open
Maybe.
to people, whatever. I don't care. It's just, you know, it's whoever I fall in love with for the week. I don't know geographically this state because I don't care enough.
That's so valid. It's so funny. I always ask people where they're from when I walk around for whatever I'm doing.
And then when they tell you,
I'm
you're like,
I
sure.
have no idea where that is. I'm like, and that's north, south, east, west.
I
Like,
just know, like, the city we're in and the cities I go through to drive up here and the surrounding cities from here. Because usually if I'm doing an activity or I'm going somewhere, it's probably one of those, like, 3 or 4 cities that we're around.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, I don't really know much about it. Don't care for it. Leaving. Don't really care about this state anymore.
Are you going home for spring break?
Huh?
At all? Are you going home for spring break at all?
Probably.
Do you know when?
The whole thing, probably. If I had
When
to
are you
guess.
leaving?
When am I leaving? Probably after my shift on Friday. So like 2:30. Maybe
Okay.
maybe Saturday, we'll see.
Because I'm trying to convince my boyfriend that we should get haircuts while we're down in Massachusetts. So maybe that's Saturday.
I think he should just be bald. No,
Could you
I think he
imagine?
would look
You would
so much worse
Look
bald.
fucking horrendous bald in the nicest way
Would you
possible.
rather him be bald or him have a mullet?
I'd rather break up with him. I'm kidding.
That's insane. You would rather break up with your man of almost 2 years
If that man
than
ever
have
came
him
back,
be bald or have him have a mullet?
if that man ever came back with a mullet, I would just cut it myself.
He
in his
doesn't have
sleep.
long enough hair to have a mullet, though.
He could grow it out. He's grown it out before a little bit, enough for a mullet. And I would just cut it myself at that point while he's sleeping. If he came back bald, I would put a hat on him and make him wear it all day long.
Dude, what if when you're asleep, he cuts your hair?
I'm gonna break up with him and chuck him off our balcony.
Good. Because you have really nice hair.
Thanks. I'm also emotionally attached to it. I've had long hair my whole life. And even getting layers this last time, I'm like going a little crazy.
Yeah, I know, like, layers are kind of scary because you're like, oh, you're cutting some of your hair shorter, but your hair is
It's
going to be
still
just as
long.
healthy.
Yeah.
It's still going to be long. And it's literally just to make it less weight.
Yeah. Which, considering half my complaints are my hair being obnoxiously heavy and a lot,
The one thing
probably
I
for the
have
best.
a problem with my hair right now is because with the layers, when I try to put it up in like a clip, it like falls out. And I was
Mhm.
like, what? And then I was like, oh, it's got to be because of the layers because it was working perfectly fine before the layers. But
Your
it's not-
layers aren't even as intense as mine.
Oh, I don't know if I told you this. I'm cutting my hair over break.
Yeah, I know.
Like cutting it. Did I tell you it was short?
Shoulder length.
Like shoulder length
Yeah.
with the bangs
I
and
think it'll look
everything.
good.
And it's going to be back to like a natural color.
For graduation.
For grad, yeah. And everything. Just because I'm kind of done with the colors.
Fair.
I think. It was fun. It was a fun time, but now that I'm going to have to be more professional, it's definitely...
Well, you haven't like a year to do it. Well, I guess if you do your internship this summer, that makes sense.
But I'm going to start like... I'm going to get rid of the color, and I'm going to make it... I don't know how natural, but like a dirty blondish probably is where we're going to start.
Mm-hmm.
And then I might just incrementally, like slowly go
Mm-hmm.
to blonder. And then I can actually be Elle Woods.
Mm-hmm.
But film instead of fashion merchandising. So, I don't know. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think like the dirty blonde would look good with the bangs.
Maybe I'll get highlights.
That's
Joking.
crazy.
I kind of want to do something with my hair though, like after I graduate, because I've had the same color hair my whole life, and I've never even like done temporary color. Part of the reason is because my mom never let me, but now I also just am indecisive and have commitment issues. So I have always thought of it. I've never actually gotten around to it, but I
That's
feel like,
scary. If
like
you
maybe like some very slightly highlights, if that makes sense. Like just
yeah,
barely
like
there, you know what I
caramel
mean?
color or whatever.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. I don't think I could be friends with you if you actually dye your hair a little bit.
I feel like I'll look like a basic bitch though if I do that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Granted, I already look like a basic bitch.
Why do you think I decided to go a little crazy with some colors after a bit? So I don't look as basic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be crazy if you
Could you
dyed
imagine?
your hair. Because I've known you with this hair your whole life. No, I'm just kidding. For the 4 years that we've known each other.
Mm-hmm.
So if you started dyeing your hair now, I don't think I know you anymore.
But do you remember when I said that I was going to be moving out and moving in with my boyfriend? And I was like, I might as well just like chop my hair off too. If I'm going to have a identity crisis, I might as well do it all at once.
And I'm glad you didn't. Because imagine you with like
But,
a
I actually
short
cut
bob.
bangs. I had bangs when I was little.
Mm,
No? You don't like it?
No. You with bangs would probably be the
No, I could never get
worst
bangs because
thing.
his ex had bangs.
Well, yeah.
I also don't like bangs on myself.
I just think that like you with bangs would be the worst for your life and for my life. I don't care about Riley. But for
I love how he's the only name that we've consistently said.
whatever.
He'll live.
But like imagine like respectfully I don't think you would look good with bangs.
I don't think so either.
Um
I think little me looked cute with bangs. I don't think...
well, everyone
Slightly
looks
less little
cute when
me.
they're tiny
Yeah.
and they're like a child. What happened to me? I looked so cute when I was a kid.
You did look so cute when you were a kid.
You-
What happened?
What have you seen photos of me?
Yes.
When?
I've been to your house.
Stalker.
I also have your mom on Instagram.
That is, dude. That story is crazy. Where she straight up like
Let me tell you,
accidentally
I,
doxed us.
I found her mom on Instagram because we were talking about it at some point, and I was like, let me just scroll through, and
My
'cause I
mom
was
was
looking for her middle
public,
name.
by
That's
the
what it
way.
was. I was looking for your middle name because she wouldn't tell me. So I was scrolling. I was like, because she said something about how it was on her mom's Instagram, and I found it, and I was like, girl, you might want to tell your mom that she has your whole entire address.
Yeah,
and
because
such
it was a post
on
of
there,
me
on a public Instagram account at
it
the
was
time.
her public, and like it was a photo of me right after I got my driver's license. So we had like the paper copy or whatever, and I was holding it up, and she posted it being like, oh, like, you know, I'm her youngest. So she was like, I think it was like, oh, my youngest just got her license finally or whatever, which is like, whatever. I don't think I still follow her. I don't think I ever did follow her.
No.
But I literally, I like called her and I said, take that post down and private your Instagram right now.
She did private it, but she didn't take it down.
She didn't take that post
I don't
down?
think so. Let me check. I'm pretty sure she didn't.
Oh my God. No, I'm pretty sure she did. I told her to delete it. Because that'd be insane. She'd be doxing us. Not that it really matters. The people who would be following her, or like her friends and family that already know where we live, but like,
I also know where she lives already.
but like that's the craziest thing is like, and it's like,
See, little Bailey.
oh, that's her. By the way, that's her wallpaper still on her phone since we took that photo, and I was in 2nd grade
Love.
or 3rd grade.
When your brother graduated.
Yeah. Was it
COVID.
his? It must have been his college graduation,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, so my mom like literally doxed us, and it was crazy. And I didn't even realize it until Jess was saying that, and I was like, oh my God, that's insane.
When did you get it so I can make sure I'm...
2016?
Oh, I got it. Yeah, it's still here. Did you
That's-
say 2016?
I'm lying. Well,
2019.
2019. Why am I thinking 2016?
I don't know.
But yeah, 2019. Oh yeah, 2016. I was in like 6th grade
You were not in 6th
or
grade.
or 7th grade. Because I graduated 8th grade in
Also something like
2017. So like, yeah, no, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. That was crazy that my mom literally, she, oh God.
I was about to ask you if you saw this as if you weren't with me during it,
During what?
that performance.
I wasn't.
I know, because you were with me,
Yeah.
and neither of us were there.
And it's not like I care anymore. Because even, well, whatever. But
Either way.
not important. But yeah, oh my God, I'm going to have to tell her. But like
Honestly, it's not bad, though, because now when I forget what your address is, I can just find it.
but no, that's the thing is like after that, we, you know, like you joke like, I know where you live. Like it actually terrified me for a while when Jess would say that, because I was like, she actually doesn't know where I live. I need to get out of here.
Yeah. I came to visit you that summer, didn't I? I came to visit a lot of people that summer. I think the only person that didn't go visit was the person that was in Georgia. The rest of y'all I harassed
Well,
at some point.
when did you do that?
Yeah, we went down to where we stay at the resort, and she was like less than an hour away from there, so I kidnapped her one of those days,
Oh.
and she hung out with us. And I'm pretty sure she was with my family, and she was not super fond of them, as far as I remember. At least
Well,
my
'cause
brother.
I know we also went and kind of met your family that one time.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Which,
My grandpa still remembers threatening the one that he threatened.
I don't remember him doing that.
You don't remember him doing that?
I know them talking about cars a lot.
You
I
don't remember
that.
him doing this?
No. I think I blacked out most of that day. Suddenly, like, we were driving, and then suddenly, like, I blacked out. Your aunt was there, and your cousins were there. After we got out of the museum,
Mm-hmm.
we were in the museum. I blacked out again.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly, like, your grandfather was talking about cars. I don't remember, like, most of anything.
I remember when my family saw us too, my mom came up and gave all of us a hug, and half of them are not huggers, especially to strangers.
Wait. She gave me a hug?
A group hug.
I
with all of
definitely
y'all.
blacked out then. I do not remember your mom giving me a hug.
Yep. I wish I didn't. I was really awkward.
I probably was like a...
Yeah,
like
something
a
like that.
weird little,
I remember
like-
was sitting there. He was like, "Okay."
Yeah, no.
They were not too thrilled.
That's
That was a day.
weird. Have you hugged my mom?
Hmm?
I mean, you've met my mom multiple times.
Yeah.
You have hugged her? Probably.
Probably. I don't remember.
Because you've come to see me quite a few times. since we don't live that far away from each
Yeah.
other.
We live about an hour and a half away from each other. Or at least we did before I moved here.
Yeah.
Now we're going to live like
Thank God.
3.5
Get away from me.
hours away from each other.
Get away from me.
But I do still go down to Massachusetts a lot.
Don't.
And if I go down for longer than a couple days, I can
No.
always come visit.
No. Suddenly I'll be living by myself in an apartment and I won't tell you where.
Mhm. I'll come say
I
hi to your
haven't-
mom, and your mom
I
will tell
did
me.
think about that when I was like freshman or sophomore year. For some reason, I was just like looking just to see what it looked like in apartments and at home, just to be like whatever. Which I'm obviously not worrying about now because now I have to go to law school and everything, so I have to save up for that. Plus, like free laundry, free food,
Yeah.
free housing, everything at
Mhm.
home. So at least for the next like few years, and
Yeah.
then I'll have to start figuring that out. But I also need to figure out where I'm gonna go first.
Yeah.
But
I personally could not. I was so over it by the time I was moving out.
well, I can imagine
Yeah.
because the stories I've heard
Yeah.
are crazy,
Correct.
including the one that happened literally over winter break.
Yep.
What are we gonna do?
We live, we laugh, and we love.
It's crazy the opposite of how our winter breaks went with our
Mhm.
parents.
I know, you and your mom became besties.
My mom and I, which I don't hate my mom. I never hated my mom, but you have that like teenager like whatever. My sister had it too for like 10 years, and then my mom and my sister suddenly became like best friends again, which was weird.
Oh, you're following your sister's footsteps.
No, I'm not gonna get married
Maybe one day.
anytime soon.
Well, she only got married a couple years ago.
Yeah, but no, yeah. I mean, trust me, I don't have the dating history that my sister does.
True.
With love, obviously, in case if she somehow hears this. But yeah, no, it was weird because, well, obviously with what happened last semester to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, I just felt like I needed someone there,
Mm-hmm.
which like obviously I was like texting you and a couple times and everything, but
I was also several hours away.
yeah, but like I don't know, and also like when I am home sometimes, like my mom and I are super chill. If we go to like a bar or something and we're just hanging out like a couple times, like we actually like bonded and low-key have like the same political beliefs about some certain things, which is crazy.
Period. Can't relate.
Considering my mom's like definitely more left,
Mm-hmm.
especially compared to my grandfather. We're not gonna talk
Mhm.
about that, but definitely more left. So I was like kind of shocked that she had some of them that I had. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, I mean we've bonded, and like for some reason, just winter break was just like perfect timing, I guess, to like actually like kind of bond again.
Mm-hmm.
And now I like text her almost every day.
Damn,
I called
that's
her
crazy.
like 4 straight days
That's
this
crazy.
week.
I could not. The thing with my mom though is that even when we do call, she just talks and talks and talks. So when we called the other day, we talked for 37 minutes. So I couldn't call her every day even if I wanted to because I don't have the time for that. But I know I've told you this, but for the podcast, I'll say my mom and I voted differently in this election. I voted, I'm sure, the same that your mom voted if she voted.
I'm
But
sure
every
she voted that way.
day
yes.
since then, I have been so tempted to text my mom, being like, "So, how's it feeling?" Because I'm sure it's not great. Because they're with the rest of the majority of Americans that rely on the government for something of the sort. And other governments like, LOL, absolutely not.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, like, even though we both had, like, our similar dislikes towards our moms, it was weird how different, like, this
Mm-hmm.
winter break really just showed that, like, maybe I'm in the wrong for some of it, and also maybe she's not that bad. And we talk all the time. I mean,
That's spooky.
the audition that I did, I like literally like texted and called her like throughout like everything. The second I found out, I called her. that I didn't make it, but like the second, because then I was like, but that's exciting, the future. I might have an acting role, which is crazy. I literally
thought you
texted
meant
her.
the theater one.
I literally texted her yesterday about well, that one I know why I didn't get it, but also like I texted her literally yesterday about this song that we like is getting a movie. They're making a movie based off of a song.
Period.
You know the Pina Colada song? If you like
Yes.
Pina Colada. Yeah, they're making a movie.
Love.
A live action movie
Love.
about, and I was like, okay, so like literally like the interpretation project from last semester,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what basically put the different song.
Mm-hmm.
So I texted her and was randomly just like whatever. So she was like, me and you gonna go see it when it comes out? Because, you know.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't have the same taste in just about anything. So if I was like, hey, we should go watch the movie. No. Hey, we should go watch the movie. That's a child movie. Why would I go watch that?
Who?
My mom has been like, I don't remember what it was, but it was some movie that was like more geared for children. She's like, we should go watch it. And I was like, what if we don't?
Don't get me wrong. Sometimes they're like kind of fire.
Some of them are. Like all the Hotel Transylvania movies, we f- those up. Those were so good.
Hotel Transylvania.
Mhm.
I think I've only watched maybe the first
Granted,
two. How many?
I
How
think
many?
there are three.
There's three. Or
Granted, we were children when those came out, but we were like
four. Were we? What year did the first one come
older
out?
children, at least
Hold
for
on.
one of them.
This is for me. Hotel Transylvania.
But I think she got like some pre-sale tickets too for something of that sort. So those we fucked
2012.
up,
The
but
first
other
one came
ones-
out.
So I was 9.
That was 13 years ago.
That's kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
How old were we when the third one came out?
I don't remember because I don't think I saw it. I don't remember. It must have been like probably around like 2019 if I had to guess. 2018.
It came out in 2018.
See?
So I was 15-ish, roughly. Something like that too. You might have been 16, I don't remember.
Most likely probably not.
Most likely not, but possibly.
Depending on, because most things don't come out after November in a year.
That's true, and it's Hotel Transylvania, so I feel like it would come
Although
out
it probably would have
before
come out
Halloween.
around October-ish, if
Hold
I
on.
had to guess,
Please hold.
September, October.
He's old.
But
It came out July 13th, so I had just turned 15. You were almost 16. So, like I said, we were older children at that point, but we still went and watched it.
yeah.
So, stuff like that, I feel like was more appropriate. But there were some, like, really childy ones, I feel like, that she asked. I was like, no, thank you.
I remember, I went to go see Trolls with my mom, and that's when I accidentally whispered the F word into her ear when it came out. And, like, because I was just, like, pissed off at, like, the antagonist in the movie, and I literally went to whisper it, like, as if it was, like, with, like, you or, like, another friend of mine or whatever, and being like, oh, he should die. And the second it came out of my mouth, I looked at her. She was not happy because that movie came out, what?
I don't know.
Like 7 years ago, so I was like, what, 15 maybe or whatever. And so like the second I did that, because I was 15 years old or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I just knew immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And she was pissed. And then we got in the car and I was like, I'm so sorry, like it slipped, blah 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 blah. Like the rest of that movie was me trying to figure out how to like explain myself and how to make it like less dramatic than it was.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, well, if it slipped out, that means you've said it before. And I was like, oh,
No shit, Sherlock.
Well.
You're 15.
but like, I was like, to be fair, like my aunt and my sister and some of my family, even when I was like 12 years old, said the F word a lot. My parents, now that I'm like college age and like I'm an adult and they don't care as much, they definitely, they'll do it. They don't care anymore. Hell, even I said it in a phone call the other day with my mom, and at first, like, I said it, and right as I did, I like stopped myself and I restarted the sentence without it. I don't know if she heard it. I don't know if she was just letting it go. I mean, I'm 22, so like,
Yeah, I think it's fine.
I'm assuming she's gonna be like, well, I'm 22, like, you know, I'm an adult, like, whatever. That, or she didn't hear it, which we can only hope. But like, it's so weird how I grew up where you couldn't really swear. Like, I had to ask my mom if I could swear in certain contexts. She said, because we were in New York at one time at the Hard Rock Cafe or whatever. We were just like walking around and stuff like that. And they were playing an Amy Winehouse song. And I love Amy Winehouse. We just let it be known I love Amy Winehouse's music. It's this song that was, kept his wet. And I was like, well, I like didn't say it because, you know, I was with my mom and she's like, what do you, I was like, well, you don't let me, you know, whatever. Like, is it okay if I say shit or whatever? Like, stuff like that. Like, it was just weird because, like, I couldn't say that as a kid. So me, like, carefully, like, slowly being like, okay, I can say damn. Okay, I can say shit. Okay, I can say that stuff. Mm-hmm. And my mom was like, I mean, if it's in a song, you can sing it. I was like, joke's on you. I'm going to start, like, sounding like Nicki Minaj. No, I'm just kidding. But, like, I was like, the fact that she was, like, allowing me to be, like, saying about, like, cheating on your significant other is kind of crazy. But then again, we grew up, my family loves It Wasn't Me from Shaggy. Such a good song. That's quite literally about being caught cheating. Love. It's a great song, though. But it was weird because I, like, growing up as a kid, I couldn't swear. Or, like, if I had to, it would be like, hell. Like, what the hell? Like, small things. Like, I couldn't say, like, what the, you know? Like, I couldn't say that. Or I couldn't say, well, that was bullshit. Like, I couldn't say stuff like that. And so, like, now I'm 22 and it's, like, fine, whatever. But, like, growing up, like, I know some people who, like, could say the F word to their mom when they were, like, 12.
I know. I have a friend whose little sister was saying the F word at, like, 8 years old. I was like,
Because, like, my aunt literally, like, let my cousins watch, like, R-rated movies when they were, like, 8 years old. And my mom wouldn't let me. I think my first R-rated movie, my dad had to go with me when I was with a friend. I'm pretty sure. And I was like, this is so weird because, like, how some people's family lets them say, like, swear like that. And then, like, I couldn't. I don't know. It's just weird how, like, different families grow up in different ways. Like, different, like, parents will just be like, you can do this, but you can't do that. But then, like, another parent will be like, no, you can't do that.
You know what's my favorite part about swearing about growing up? This is very sarcastic, just for context. So I have a twin brother, obviously, like I said, and they would let him swear and swear and swear, and they wouldn't say anything until it was, like, the 5th or 6th swear, and they're like, you can't swear. I would say freaking or darn.
Freaking.
And they'd be like, Jessica, you can't be swearing.
Dude, that's, like, how we say heck and honk sometimes.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing. I love heck and honk.
It probably one of the best things that, like, our friend group made up as, like, a thing. What the heck and honk. Double ouchie, too.
Oh, my God. I love double ouchie.
I literally, what did I text? I texted you that yesterday, right? Double ouchie?
Ooh, that's not fun.
Ooh, that's not fun.
I still have the video of that.
I might still have that video. I might have deleted it. I'm not sure anymore. I'm not going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. Well, I don't have unlimited, like, data on my phone, so I can't just keep anything and everything.
I don't have unlimited data. I was just iconic.
My phone's going to start just exploding because of all the stupid photos and everything on it. But, you know,
I finally switched my storage that my mom used to pay for to my payment method, though. So now she can't hold that over me. It's really interesting how much she holds over me. And I'm like, girl, you have literally nothing else left. Other than she still pays for my phone and my health insurance, and even that. Like, I can switch my phone over to mine if I feel like it. And health insurance, she's already asked me. She's like, when you get a job, figure out your health benefits, because if yours is cheaper than mine, you should take your own. I was like, oh, okay. I'm going to be 22, but sure.
That's crazy. And I don't pay for any of my stuff.
And you pay for nothing. But honestly, like, it works out
But like
for you.
I said, that's weird how, like, some families will grow up with you kind of once you start having a job, you have to pay for everything. You pay for your own everything.
Though. It was just like...
No, but I know some people, like...
No, yeah. I know what you mean.
We see daily that are like, yeah, my mom said the second I get a job, I have to pay for everything.
Yeah. My mom wasn't like that. She still paid for at least a good majority of things up until I came to college. And then once I got to college, I started paying for my own stuff more and more. And now I basically pay for everything.
You have loans, right, for college?
Yeah.
So I don't have to. Luckily, my parents have paid for my college. However, with what they did with my siblings as well, is grad school or whatever, I have to take out loans.
Mhm.
So law school is going to be a very expensive, a very expensive loan.
Find cheap interest rates, because my highest I think is 14%. My brother's highest is like 16.5%. And we're both going to owe quite a bit of money. Granted, I looked at my brother's and I thought that I was going to throw up, because his private loans alone are more than what I'm going to pay for total.
Well, he's also going to, you know, I feel like
It's a
that
more
would be
prestigious school, don't get me wrong, but it's still wildly expensive. And, I mean, as long as he gets a good job in his field, he'll be fine. But that's to be determined as of now, currently.
I just feel like the school he goes to just makes sense because it's so expensive.
Yeah. Which,
Me
from
also
that
looking
school
at
for
law
what
school,
he's looking for.
that is expensive.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the average tuitions.
I know.
And
Horrendous.
which one was I looking at? There was the one that's local-ish to where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, just to let you know, this is actually going to be the tuition for next year already.
Oh, perfect.
And it was another $1,000.
Which, in hindsight, isn't horrendous.
Isn't
compared to
terrible.
everything.
But if their tuition's going to raise $1,000 every year, so it's already
it's gonna
raised
be rough.
$1,000 from what it was before, then when I actually start, it's going to be another 1,000,
Mhm.
and then another 1,000 my second year, and then another 1,000 my third year.
Dude, I was looking at the housing even here.
It's like
how much it
5,000
was
extra than what
when
it
we
was
started.
this
How it's
year.
gonna be next year.
The housing for here, I got that email. I said, thank God I am graduating.
Literally.
And I deleted the email because I didn't know any valid information.
I need to go through my emails.
Yeah, you probably should. Your 40,000 emails or whatever.
I have my
It's a
school
good song.
emails.
I like this song. It's my favorite Tyler song. But yeah, so like I don't know, it's just so expensive. I don't understand. All right, so I think we're good here on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
That was really just like a brain like
Mm-hmm.
word vomit
Mm-hmm.
episode, which I'm fine with. I'm not against that at all.
Yeah.
And,
Gives you a little bit of everything, you know?
yeah, just a
Little
little
spice.
taste of how we feel about certain things. Me with AI, hate AI. You with your medical stuff, you know. So yeah, hope you liked this this podcast. Ew, let me start that over. Anyways, this is we're gonna wrap up this episode here. Hope you guys liked it, and be sure to stay tuned for another episode coming soon. See you.
See you later.